Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome to Arithmetic, lesson 160. Let's start off by going over your multiplication tables. We're going to start with our 4 multiplication tables. Remember that this is necessary to memorize before you get to 4th grade. So if you're struggling, make sure you're studying over the summer break. Okay, boys and girls, I'm going to slam my desk. You can clap your hands, you can snap your fingers, anything you'd like to do with me. Ready? You should be singing along with me. 0 times 4 equals 0. 1 times 4 equals 4. 2 times 4 equals 8. 3 times 4 equals 12. 4 times 4 equals 16. 5 times 4 equals 20. 6 times 4 equals 24. 7 times 4 equals 28. 8 times 4 equals 32. 9 times 4 equals 36. 10 times 4 equals 40. 11 times 4 equals 44. 12 times 4 equals 48. 0 divided by 4 equals 0. 4 divided by 4 equals 1. 8 divided by 4 equals 2. 12 divided by 4 equals 3. 16 divided by 4 equals 4. 20 divided by 4 equals 5. 24 divided by 4 equals 6. 28 divided by 4 equals 7. 32 divided by 4 equals 8. 36 divided by 4 equals 9. 40 divided by 4 equals 10. 44 divided by 4 equals 11. 48 divided by 4 equals 12. Good. Oops, skipped one. 6's. Let's multiply and divide by 6. Are you ready? I'm going to pound on my desk again. You can clap if you want. 0 times 6 equals 0. 1 times 6 equals 6. 2 times 6 equals 12. 3 times 6 equals 18. 4 times 6 equals 28. 5 times 6 equals 30. 6 times 6 equals 36. 7 times 6 equals 42. 8 times 6 equals 48. 9 times 6 equals 54. 10 times 6 equals 60. 11 times 6 equals 66. 12 times 6 equals 72. 0 divided by 6 equals 0. 6 divided by 6 equals 1. 12 divided by 6 equals 2. 18 divided by 6 equals 3. 24 divided by 6 equals 4. 30 divided by 6 equals 5. 36 divided by 6 equals 6. 42 divided by 6 equals 7. 48 divided by 6 equals 8. 54 divided by 6 equals 9. 60 divided by 6 equals 10. 66 divided by 6 equals 11. 72 divided by 6 equals 12. Very good. All right, as you can see, we're going to go over Roman numerals. In 4th grade, we teach a sentence that helps you remember the top row, the I, V, X, L, C, D, M. So I won't ruin that for you, but let's try to remember those. I equals 1, V equals 5, X equals 10, L equals 50, C equals 100, D equals 500, and M equals 1,000. So you should know those by now. And like I said, we will teach you a cute little trick in 4th grade. Let's remember how to do number 32. Remember, there's some rules to these Roman numerals. You don't want to use more than 3 at a time, right? Of the same letter. So 30 would be 3 X's. And how about 2? 2 I's. Very good. So it will look like that. X, 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 I, I. And 80, you got to split 80 up. You don't want to put all these X's, right? Because you don't want to put 8 10s. You need to put a bigger number. There's a 50. You could put L for 50. And then you could put 10s. So you'd put X, X, X. And it should look like this. Now, 700. Again, you don't want to, you know that 100 is C, but you can't put 7 C's in a row. You can only put up to 3. So you use 500, which is D, and then use how many hundreds? 2. Very good. So you should have D, C, C. And 2020. How do you write 2000? MM. Very good. And how do you write 20? XX. Very, very good. So MM, XX. All right. Don't forget that. All right. Today, we're going to do something that piggybacks off of yesterday's lesson. Yesterday we did two-digit divisors by two-digit dividends. Today we're going to add another dividend digit, I should say. So now we have 570 divided by 20. But don't get scared. It's not any harder. It's just more division. Remember we said to divide, multiply, subtract, compare, and bring down. You're just going to do that over and over again. Okay, so when you get to the end, you're going to start over with the division again. So let's start here. Remember, we put that little line. I wasn't able to draw it on this one, but the line over 57, because we're doing two digits. There's two digits, 20 in our divisor, and we need to work with two digits. So you put 57, a line right over it to help you remember where the first digit is going. So 57 divided by 20. I don't expect you to know your 20 times tables, but I do expect you to use the first two numbers. So 5 divided by 2 equals, good, 2. 5 divided by 2 equals 2. 2 times 0 equals 0. Put the 0 under the 7. And 2 times 2 equals 4. Put the 4 under the 5. Very good. So now we are going to subtract 57 minus 40. And that will give us 17. Now, we compare 17 is less than 20. Okay? If it is more than or equal to, we cannot move on. We have to figure out what we did wrong. But it is less than, so now we can bring down. We bring down the 0. And when you bring down the 0, we have a new number, 170. Again, just start over. No trouble. Just start again. Divide, multiply, subtract, compare, and bring down. So let's do that. Divide 17, remember our first two numbers, divided by 2. What is 17 divided by 2? Very nice. 8 is your answer. You put 8 on the top. 8 times 20. First with the 0, 8 times 0 equals 0. Put your 0 underneath the 0. And then 8 times 2 is 16. Okay? Now we can subtract. 170 minus 160 equals 10. Very good. Now compare. 10 is less than 20. Yes. So now we have to start over and bring down. Can we bring down? There's nothing left to bring down. If there was another digit, we can bring it down, but there's not. So that means that our number 10 is our remainder. Very good. Now, I did notice on some of your tests last week or the week before, you didn't remember how to do this. Make sure you write remainder 10. Now, you could write this as a fraction. 10 over what number? 20. Very good. But this will suffice for here, for now, remainder 10. But you could write it 10 over 20. Okay, let's do another just to continue here. 650 divided by 30. We take our first two digits, 65, and we divide by 30. But again, I don't expect you to know your 30 times table, but I do expect you to use the first two digits to divide. 6 divided by 3 equals 2. Where do we put that 2? Over the 5. Excellent. 2 times 30. Start with 2 times 0 equals 0. Put that 0 under the 5. And 2 times 3 is 6. Put the 6 under the 6. We subtract, and we get 5. We compare, and we get that it's less than. Very good. And now we can bring down. When we bring down that 0, we're now left with 50. We need to divide 50 by 30. How many times does 3 go into 5? Or 5 divided by 3? What is it close to? 1. Very good. And 1 times 30 equals 30. And 50 minus 30 equals 20. Compare. 20 is less than 30. Bring down. There's nothing else to bring down. So that is my remainder. Very, very good. All right. On your worksheet today, you should have these questions. 840 divided by 20. We're going to go through them fairly quickly because this is not hard, boys and girls, but you do need to follow the steps and write down all your work. Very important. It's going to get harder in fourth grade, and you're going to need to know all of these little tiny steps. So write down everything. 84 divided by 20. What is 8 divided by 2? 4. Very good. You put the 4 on top of the end of that red line. Put 4 and now multiply. 4 times 20 equals 80. And now subtract. 84 minus 80 equals 4. Good. Now compare. 4 is less than 20. So now bring down. Now we have 40. We're going to start the whole process again. 40 divided by 20. That's an easy one, isn't it? Equals 2. 2 times 20 equals 40. And we subtract and get 0. So now we are done. They're asking us to check, and we check the same way we do with any other division problem. We multiply. We multiply the quotient, which is the answer, 42, by the divisor, which is 20, and we should get 840. Let's see if we do. 0 times 42 equals 0. So 0 times 2, 0 times 4, they're both 0. Now we need to do 2 times 42. We need our spacer. Oops, sorry about that. We need our spacer 0. Don't forget that 0. And then we need to put 2 times 2 is 4, and 2 times 4 is 8. Sorry, that appeared all at once. All right, 52 divided by 40 equals 1, and 1 times 40 equals 40, and 52 minus 40 equals 2 minus 0 equals 2, and 5 minus 4 equals 1. Now we're left with 12. Compare 12 to 40, and it is less than, so we can bring down the 0, which gives us a new number of 120. Now, some of us might know that 120 divided by 40 and know the answer, but most of us will have to look at 12 divided by 4. What is 12 divided by 4? 3. Good. And 3 times 40 equals 120. First, we start off with 3 times 0, and then 3 times 4. And then we subtract, and we get 0. So our answer is 13. 13 is our quotient. We take our quotient and multiply by our divisor, and we should get 520. Again, 0 times 13 is 0. And then I put my spacer under the ones column. We learned this a couple weeks ago. Make sure, because you're now multiplying by 4, but you're really multiplying by 40. So put your 0 under the ones column, and then multiply. 4 times 3 is 12. Carry the 1. Put the 2 down, carry the 1. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So your answer is 520, and therefore correct. Oop, that shouldn't have that plus. Let's leave that. Okay, I see what they're doing. All right. So let's go on. We have on our next page, number 5, it says the lines to draw the temperatures with their descriptions. Hopefully you remember this. What is 212 boiling point of water in Celsius? Good, it is 100. Very good. And letter B says 0 Celsius freezing point of water. What's the freezing point of water, boys and girls? Good, 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Excellent. And if your normal body temperature is 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, what is it in Celsius? 37 degrees Celsius. Very nice. Okay, boys and girls, you're going to finish up this page front and back today. And I want you to remember that this is our last video lesson. You do have some more seat work pages for the rest of the days, but so finish up all those pages, send them to your teacher on Google Classroom or however she asks you to send them to her, but just finish those on the daily basis that they're due. And it's been great teaching you over video learning. If you need anything, reach out to Miss Ortiz or myself, no problem. If you need help with any question, we're always here to help you. And we hope to see you on June 5th for our parade. Have a great day, boys and girls.